Welcome back to Small College Conversations. I'm Kristen Ergel, and today I have Janet Eaton-Smith, Ottawa's Director of Athletics. It's been a fun year for you. You were in your 1 year anniversary of taking over there at Ottawa. What's it been like the last year? Did it meet your expectations?
It has been a whirlwind to say the least. I honestly, Kristen, I asked God for a challenge when I had the opportunity to take over the helm here, and it has definitely been a challenge. It has definitely been a challenge from beginning to end. Yeah,
All
but
right,
it's
let's
been good. It's been good. Let's dive into it, but it's been a
let's
good one.
dive into it. Yes. Okay. So, what's been the biggest surprise to you moving from Lourdes to Ottawa?
You know what? I have to chuckle and say this. The biggest surprise, I started here March 1st, and within 10 business days, the administration changed. I was hired under one president, and the next in 10 days he was gone. And so being able to pivot and being relevant to what's going on here on our campus is just I ain't gonna say mind-boggling in a bad way, but mind-boggling in a good way. It goes back to part of that challenge that I asked God about and stuff. So that has been one of the things. And in processing, Ottawa is
Mhm.
a big operation, and so that was one of the things that was very very appealing toward to me. Big operation with over 900 athletes. So understanding how Ottawa works, for example, I came from an institution that had one FAR, a faculty athletic rep. Ottawa has two. So figuring how that works in my mind and how to navigate them and who's responsible for what is navigating that. So I think in my 1 year anniversary, I got that part right. I might not have everything else right, but I got that part right. The other thing that was different at Ottawa is they have a spring one and a spring two. And we do have a compliance officer. I'm very grateful for that. But just understanding the ins and outs of how they function with eligibility, operating with a spring one and a spring two was different for me. But other than that, it has been a phenomenal year. I can't believe it's been a year already. I am still drinking from the fire hydrant. But it's good water. It is really really good water, and I'm thankful for all of the support and everybody that's surrounded around me to give me an opportunity to feel like I'm making a difference.
From meeting you just in the last few minutes before we started recording, you just feel your passion for this place. You have a lot of joy. I want to ask you, you have a new president that came in. How do you build rapport so quickly with people?
For me, I'm just authentic. I have a southern drawl. I don't pronounce words thoroughly, and I hold that as a badge of honor. I don't hide behind it. It is who I am, and it's okay. That doesn't mean I can't relate. So being relatable probably goes back to that southern hospitality that we all grew up with, being from the South, and just being able to connect people outside of sports. Hey, I believe you can do your craft, but getting to know you as an individual. I lead with a purpose. I want to make people feel like they're relevant, and I believe in giving people their flowers at the time. People pass and go on, whether they leave a job, whether other things happen. But in the moment when you're winning a championship or you're having your first baby, give people their flowers at the time that they deserve their flowers. So that's one of my things that I think helped me connect with people along this athletic journey.
Oh, I love that. In the moment. And I think
Mhm.
that is the key. That I love that. Okay, so biggest achievement so far in your first year. Go ahead and brag on yourself a little bit. We want to hear it.
The hardest part is to talk about yourself.
It
So
is.
some of the big things that I consider a badge of honor, the flag football. We partner with the YMCA, that community connection to promote women in sports, particularly flag, this big emerging sport that is getting ready to just hit the nation by storm. I'm excited about that. NIL deals, excited about putting in some policies that I think will help better us in the future. These are just small tools and small nuggets to kind of go from there. The other big thing I want to say, just streamlining processes, understanding that you got certain things in order and certain things in places. And I know that's not a banner or a certificate, but it makes operations on our campus smoother and easier. So it's a cycle year, it's a calendar year. So to streamline when we know camp information is due, to streamline understanding when your budget information is due, and to put those processes in place has been helpful with us understanding expectations and understanding how we're going to plan and move forward.
Okay, some of the biggest challenges you've had in 1 year, and what are some of those things you're starting to tackle a little bit, starting to chisel at some of those?
Oh Lord, the biggest challenge is
I love you,
outside.
by the way.
Woo,
You are
thank-
fun.
woo. One is budgets. Again, and it's no secret for any small school, handling and managing funds and operating from there. So understanding and operating with a mindset of it's going to be okay when it's not okay, how to think outside the box and stretch the dollar more than a rubber band and continue to stretch it. So that definitely has been a challenge. And I'm sure I'm not the only one sitting in an AD seat talking about budget. Budget is critical. So fundraising is essential for us and how we navigate and do some things. Being in the KCAC, the footprint, we're spread out 2-hour drive commute to our competitors. And so that is interesting how we navigate. And we've put some things in place to kind of help us manage better and to be better stewards of our dollars. And so those are some heavy challenges. To be completely transparent, personnel. You
Mhm.
know that when you get a new AD, everybody is not feeling the new AD, and being an AD is not for the faint of hearts. It is not for the weak. It is having that thick skin, and that doesn't mean my feelings are not hurt. Sometimes that doesn't
Mhm.
mean that I'm numb to what's going on, but it's reality. And I walked into an institution that had longevity, and I'm very thankful for the longevity. They did an outstanding job, so it was a solid foundation when I got here. But my presence, just coming in, created a little riffraff. And so just to have that personnel challenge and to adjust quickly and trying to get the right people in the right place. I've made some mistakes along the way, but we're cleaning those up and trying to get there. So hopefully in the 25-26 academic year, we're all set and this machine is ready to go. So,
Some of the changes obviously is hiring people, like you mentioned, when there's turnover,
mhm.
new head coaching changes in your first year. What is your hiring process there in your first year? What are some of those things you've had to work through? And I guess when you look at building someone on your team, what are those qualities? I mean, I guess it's like a
Mhm.
two-part question,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. So I I have to say that my this was unique at Ottawa with hiring so many people at one time, at one frame. I guarantee you, I think within my 6 months, I was looking to hire 6 people. And so it was fast. So that short list that every athletic director has in their thinking cap or somewhere, that short list that they utilize to go to, you kind of go to some of those people that's on your list and see if they're willing to navigate and willing to come over. Then the other part is just finding people that with high character. You're looking for people that understand kind of where you are and where you've been. And me personally, I leaned on some of my friends in the business. Is there anyone you can recommend that will fit this structure and fit this mold? You can be great at X's and O's. It doesn't matter what sport you're in, but do you fit the environment? And that's a large part of it that some people get and some people don't get. Being able to fit the environment and the culture that's already here is being able to understand that process as well.
What are your first steps to starting to prioritize building a strategic vision? It feels like you said, you're having a drink from the fire hose right
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
You're probably like, there's a lot of things I want to accomplish, but how do you prioritize what's next?
So first of all, if you can see my desk, I got sticky notes everywhere. You can't see it, but I got sticky notes and just take the sticky note when it's done and throw it in the trash. But seriously, I prioritize is first my first step was getting my calendar under control. I control my own calendar. I'm like, I put it on there. I don't need an administrative assistant. Nope. Let me prioritize my calendar and get it under control and have set meetings so you can organize and get a set flow. So I'm meeting with the dean of students at one time. I'm meeting with my leadership team at one time and just trying to create a pattern, trying to create some consistency through the month. So I'm not blindsided. You're not blindsided. I'm not a person that rush. I'm a person that kind of process things. When somebody's talking to me, I'll probably say, let me process it first. Could take a little while for my wheels to turn. My wheels are turning, but I don't want to rush to something. I don't want to make a quick judgment. The other part is My student athletes come first. I have an open door policy. If they need me, whether it's to talk, chat, text, or whatever, I pause for my student athletes. Them 2 o'clock in the mornings when some of them text, I'm like, it's not that serious, but I'm gonna answer. My student athletes come first. My coaches and understanding the people that I serve are very important to me. So getting them to understand, if it's an emergency, text me. If it's not an emergency, you can send me an email. I do check my emails. I respond, but my door is open. You can walk in, but we can't have a flood of people walking in to ask me, can I change a game? Come on, let's work for this. And then empowering people that are around you.
Mm.
I am surrounded by phenomenal leaders. I have an all-female team. You can't tell me nothing. I have an all-female team. Miss Kathy Hindeleiter is my compliance, and she deals with transportation for us, letting her do her job. Ty Sharpley is my associate AD. She's over game day and my GAs. Let her do her job. I got Dr. Jen Rayburn. She is over athletic training and mental health. Let her do her job. And, so letting people do their job, and I meet with them regularly and just support them and undergird them. So once you have made people feel like they are empowered with being able to make a decision, that I'm comfortable with the decision, we're good to go. So the biggest thing was getting my team established. My team is here established. And now the next layer is getting the right people in the right places to kind of grow and continue to build.
Okay, an all-female staff. Did you set out to have an all-female staff, or did it just sort of happen?
It kind of sort of happened. I think Jen Rayburn was my first appointment. She finished her PhD. Jen is head athletic trainer. She's been here for many years, so she understood the history of Ottawa. She understood the layout and kind of go from there. So her wealth of knowledge of the institution was important to me. I'm big on diversity, so I'm like, okay, Jen, I don't have any money, but I can promote you. So she was like, I'm good with that. So to bring her in the fold with her knowledge was important. Kathy Hindeleiter has been here for many, many years, and kudos to her. She is our female trailblazer of the year. We will honor her in San Diego. And so her knowledge to me was important. I'm not afraid of saying I don't know. I'm afraid of saying I didn't know. I mean,
Mm.
that's it sounds like it's the same thing, but it's two different things in my world. And let me explain it to you. I'm new. So I can't tell you what I don't know here. But what aggravates me is you didn't tell me why I'm here. So I try to get people around me. I'm like, I'm the AD. Can you please communicate with me? I need you guys to communicate with me. And getting people to understand that it's okay to walk through the door and share the mistakes or share the hiccups. Let's
Mm.
talk through it and let's figure it out all together. And I don't want to be blindsided. That's the word I'm looking for. I
Mhm.
don't want to be blindsided. So having Kathy and having Jen, people that have been here for so long, to be part of the organization and helping them understand my personalities. My personality. They got to see me in good, they got to see me in bad. And I hope I've been consistent throughout the year. And then just adding to the mix, Ty Sharpley. I've never worked with Ty Sharpley before. Young lady that with a lot of talent, a lot of enthusiasm that I felt like just was fresh, just someone I could see that would be an AD in the next couple of years. And just to mold her and shape her and just kind of put my stamp on her is a blessing for me. And I think that it just fell in place. It just fell in place. So we do have our girl days. We do hang out with one another. We had a Galentine's Day where we just hung out on Valentine's Day and just celebrated and loved one another. And so I'm just very, very thankful for the women, the wisdom, and the power that I have around me. So I'm kudos to them.
Wow, very cool. Okay, you were hired in 2024, just after that, partnering with Opendorse to assist with the Braves NIL efforts. In just 1 year, what kind of impact have you seen already?
Oh, we jumped from when it comes to NIL deals, Open Doors is phenomenal. I can be an advocate for them. We jumped from having, I want to say 78 student athletes to now we're probably up to 200 something student athletes that have NIL deals on the scale. And we're still learning. We're currently hashing out and we learn something new every day. So it's a fluid document. It doesn't change. So we're excited to do that. But Open Doors has definitely been a blessing. We have monthly meetings. They have done training on campus for our students. They've done training on campus for our coaches. And anytime you need them, they answer immediately. So it doesn't matter if it's 2 o'clock in the day or 8 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock at night. They will respond with helping you navigate. And our student athletes are hungry and they're excited about NIL deals.
Okay, so you mentioned it earlier that you partnered with YMCA of Greater Kansas City to help grow girls flag football. Talk to me through that. What do you hope this impact has long term, especially for the community, and then growing your sport?
So the impact, we just want to highlight women in sports, just making sure that girls know that they have support and they can go play and participate in whatever sport that they want. I'm blessed. I walked into a powerhouse to have Liz and Katie Sowers as coaches. So kudos to the people who hired them. So I walked into a just a plethora of knowledge when it comes to the actual sport itself. So our goal is to get into the community and let people know Ottawa does exist. We're only 55 minutes from Kansas City. We will get out there and promote and do some things. On March 30th, we are having a coaching clinic on our campus at 3:30. We have a flag football game at 1 o'clock, and 3:30 is the high school coaching clinic for flag, where Liz and Katie will talk about X's and O's of flag, present some strategies on offense and defense and how they maneuver. And you can't go wrong with recruiting. The more you're out there, no news is bad news, right? So the more you're out there, the more the brave arrowhead is being shown, the more the black and yellow is out there to promote and to get people on our campus is definitely a plus. And we want this to grow. We want it to grow. We kicked off a little fall tournament, not fall, spring tournament early in February. We did, and so we're looking for that tournament to grow as teams develop and teams get their framework of how they want to move and promote women in sports.
And I could be wrong, but your team has won the NAIA Flag Championship since its inception, right?
4 consecutive years. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am. So we're
yeah.
going after five. So come on, girls. Come on. Here we go. Here we go. So we are going after five. And so I'm excited. I'm excited that NAIA took the time to just be the forefront of promoting
Mhm.
this initiative. And kudos to Jim and his staff and everybody else just being thoughtful enough to create and just be the flagship of women's flag football.
And it also is helping to be partnered with the NFL as well and all of that, growing. It's a neat thing. Definitely, like in middle schools, we were, it's a part of different middle schools across the country. That's when you know it's tapping in. It's those early ages.
Yeah, it's a big thing. But the fact that it's getting ready to be promoted in the Olympics is also
Yeah.
phenomenal. I do know that I'm probably speaking out of term. Liz will be like, I told you not to say nothing, Janet. We're pushing for flag football to be part of halftime or the NFL, the Super Bowl ranks, whether it be the All-Star game or something like that. We're pushing. Well, Liz is pushing, not Janet. Liz Sowers, our coach, is pushing to promote that. So I don't want to take her flowers from her, promoting to get flag football at the Super Bowl level and those particular things. So
What is key for supporting that sport specifically?
the biggest thing is supporting the sport. All emerging sports is to be flexible with funds. It's not in flag football. Traveling, if you want to get competitive, you want to get out and play people that are on the same level as you're going to have to spend a little bit more money than necessary, because it's very prevalent in Florida and Houston, in those areas. We're closer to Houston, but it's still a trip. It is definitely
Mhm.
still a trip, and you got to be flexible. The administration has got to be understanding, what does emerging mean? Emerging means that you're not going to have 5 or 6 schools in your footprint that you can just go play. They might have to be shipped off. So their budget expenses are going to be totally different. And you got to be committed. You got to be committed with some hiccups. You got to be committed and flexible when it comes to eligibility, because eligibility is different when it comes to emerging sports, but also holding true to your academic standards and your academic pride and commitment. And so understanding that and just being transparent. I think Liz and I probably talk probably once a day, if not every other day, because we're in season, in the heat of it. And so making sure we're all on the same page. She did clown me about the budget. She did. And I clowned her back and told her she need to go fundraise some more. But the biggest thing is making sure that any administration is understanding that it may not look the same as a basketball or a football, because you don't have an opportunity to play schools that are more skilled, because you want to be competitive. In my situation, I'm blessed. You got K-Dub, Kansas Wesleyan sitting right here. And so they're competitive for us, not disrespecting anybody else in the conference. But as Liz complained, I need to get some competition. And it's the Florida, it's Weber, it's Kaiser in the Florida area. And so we're just trying to navigate through those waters. Mhm.
Nationally, you're a part of the NAIA's National Administrative Council. Thinking from a broad perspective, what are some of the biggest pressing issues across the board, and how do they impact your institution?
Um, some of the big impacts is higher education. Education rate, the prices are raising. You have
Mhm.
tuition goes up 1, 2, 3% every year. To keep our doors open, we're enrollment driven. How to continue to recruit and get people to attend your school, but at the same time, controlling the discount rate. What formula works for Ottawa may not work for Lourdes, may not work for Kansas Wesleyan. So it's figuring that formula out. What's our sweet spot? So those are challenges for all small institutions, understanding what is the key number, what's the mystery number for enrollment, how do you balance keeping a student athletic experience and making sure they have a good experience, also floating within this tight budget that gets tighter and tighter and tighter every year. And how do you do that? And athletics is key to enrollment, but the experience is a passion that I love, the coaches love, and making sure our student athletes have a really good experience. We want them to fall in love with Ottawa University. They came here for their particular sport, but we want them to fall in love with Ottawa University. The history of the alums here and the people that graduated from here is different than any other campus I've been on. And I bleed blue and white. I love Dillard University. I'm a Dillard alum, but I tell you, when you walk around Ottawa, you see black and yellow everywhere. Everybody is an alum. They come out, they support the games, they support the current students. And so that's our goal, is to try to make sure the students that we serve turn out to be great alums and they give back in their time when they can give back.
Final question for you. As you head into year two, what's
Mhm.
the focus for you and your team?
Continuity. Definitely holding stable and making sure that everybody is on board and we're all rowing in the same direction. The focus again is we want to graduate, we want to recruit, retain, and graduate our student athletes. Everybody wants to win, so that's a no-brainer, right? That is a no-brainer.
Mhm.
We are sitting in the KCAC and associate members of the Heart of America, and so we want to be competitive. I truly believe that we have the right coaches in the right places at the right time. My job is just to undergird them and support them and let them know they have support through good and bad, because it's not going to change. Athletics is different every day. And that's the part that I love more than anything else. It is not the same every day.
Janet, thank you so much for your insight. Continued success.
Thank you for having me, Kristen. Thank you.